Welcome to phase 3, the last phase. Here we'll be discussing. This is a quick summary of the chapter. I will not read it, I'm just flashing it. I'll hold the screen on for a few seconds. Please read it for your reference. This is the second story. Please read it yourself. And here, second part of the second story. And here the story of Mukesh ends. Let's proceed to the understanding of the story. This is the most important part of phase 3. तो हमने जो जो करा है उसको हम एक बार एनालाइज करके ढूंढें कि हम क्या सीखते हैं चैप्टर में से. लॉग आंसर्स के लिए एक पॉइंट था टाइटल, और मैंने बोला था लैड कॉस्ट, तो टी फॉर टाइटल. द लॉस्ट स्प्रिंग हैज़ अ टच ऑफ आयरनी. ये जो टाइटल है, स्प्रिंग इज़ द बेस्ट सीजन ऑफ अ ईयर. ये एग्जैक्ट आयरनी नहीं है क्योंकि इसमें स्प्रिंग की बात हो रही है, तो ये सिंबॉलिकल जाएगा. बीइंग फुल ऑफ कलर, फ्रेगरेंस एंड फ्रेशनेस, इट इज़ ऑल्सो अ सीजन ऑफ रिन्यूअल एंड ग्रोथ. The childhood of human life is often likened to spring as it marks the beginning of human life and has a tremendous scope for growth. It is full of joy, pleasure and play. Children anywhere in the world are a source of great joy. मैं इसको एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ कि हम सब जानते हैं spring denotes the power to you can say be joyful, to multiply, to progress, to prosper. स्प्रिंग अगर लॉस्ट हो जाए, गुम हो जाए, तो वो क्या होगा? स्प्रिंग इज लाइक चाइल्डहुड ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ. वो लॉस्ट हो गया तो वो प्रोडक्टिविटी उसकी कम हो जाएगी, प्रोग्रेस हैम्पर होगी, प्रॉस्पेरिटी हैम्पर होगी. मिलियंस ऑफ चिल्ड्रन लाइक साहिब एंड मुकेश एक्सपीरियंस नो स्प्रिंग इन देयर लाइफ्स. उनकी लाइफ में स्प्रिंग आता ही नहीं, उन्हें पता ही नहीं कि चाइल्डहुड जॉयज क्या हैं. Their childhood is consumed in making a living. Education and play and pleasure are not for them to enjoy. They must work to support themselves and their families. Thus, the title brings out the depravity of child labor in a very telling way. This is how the title, The Lost Spring, is being dealt with. It is a very just and apt title that talks about real stories of the childhood that is stolen by somebody. How in your opinion can Mukesh realize his dream? ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बारी आया है बोर्ड में, ये टेक्सचुअल क्वेश्चन है. Mukesh, one of the children in Firozabad, aspires to be a motor mechanic. This is unlike most people who work in Bangalore manufacturing units amidst appalling conditions. Most of the people there, caught in the vicious circle, are born and die in the same miserable plight as their forefathers. But Mukesh dares to dream. Right at the beginning of the story, we can find remarkable conviction in his dream. He has thought of his plan as much as a child of his age can. He is determined to become a garage mechanic and to go to a garage and learn. He realizes that the garage is a long way from his home, yet he is resolute. I will walk, he insists. He dreams of driving cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. His passion and perseverance will help him achieve his goals. All that he has to do is not to let his dreams go. Thus, the fact that Mukesh is able to dream of breaking from tradition is the first step towards realization of his dreams. Oprah Winfrey says the key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success but significance, and then even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on greater meaning. So that is how Mukesh can realize his dream. Now we are discussing the problem of deprivation at its best. मैंने आपको डी वर्ड दिया था लैड में कि डिप्राइव होना, इस प्रॉब्लम बहुत ही डेप्थ में है, ये डिस्कस करेंगे. The story seems to open with a slap across the face of Indian society. where children of the poor are shown searching for something of use in the heaps of rotting garbage. These children, on the other hand, are happy, contented, and ignorant what they are deprived of. साहिब्स रेडीनेस टू ज्वाइन स्कूल डज नॉट मेक हिम रूड और डिमांडिंग. हमने ये देखना है, वो बिल्कुल भी उसका बिहेवियर गलत नहीं था. ही इज सिंपली स्माइलिंग. ही इज कीन एंड इज अनअवेयर ऑफ हिज वेरी ओन नेम्स मीनिंग. सच इज हिज ऑब्लिवियन दैट ही डजंट नो द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ वेयरिंग शूज. ये सब कंटेंटमेंट ही तो है कि एक तरफ वो डिप्राइव्ड है, दूसरी तरफ वो कंटेंटेड भी है. With improper clothing, they only yearn for survival. Children have become parents' partners in their survival, and that is why they call garbage as gold. Sahib is happy to wear someone's thrown away tennis shoes. Just watching the game standing behind the fence is enough for him, as he doesn't know that he deserves more. Perpetual poverty has become the only way of life available to them. Even when he joins a tea stall, he is oblivious of the loss of his freedom and the added burden in his childhood. As in case of Mukesh and his family, child marriage and child labor are posing further damage to the poor. They have accepted their way of life so much that their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than the light outside. Their children are bound to join them in bangle making factories and lose their eyesight, irrespective of their age or sex. Still, the married girls as well as the unmarried ones continue to do what they are taught by elders happily. The young continue to echo the lament of their elders, yet they agree to proceed their profession. They call it a God-given lineage because they can't even think of breaking it. It takes a good deal of daring to dream big for them, and it is not a part of their growing up. Mukesh's father is contented to have achieved what most men cannot, that he could teach them what he knows. Another man, he is happy that he could get their own home for the family. For Mukesh, who is ready to walk to a garage to be a motor mechanic, it is a pity that few planes fly over Firozabad. His dream has a finite limit because he doesn't see aeroplanes, and this brings him embarrassment already. This may lead to regret later because it seems impossible that bangle makers will be able to uplift their lot. Ugly face of child labor. This is what we'll be discussing now. The story throws light on a really bitter side of atrocities against labor and presents various facts about children working as laborers. In Simapuri, the rag pickers are migrants from Dhaka and they dwell in ill-kept slums. They have no other employment, they take on rag picking and their children join them. A child named Sahib later starts working at a tea stall for merely 100 rupees and meals, and in lieu of that, he carries his master's steel canister and remains dutiful, forgetting his own freedom, friends, joys, and games. In Firozabad, children from bangle makers' families too join in their parents' work. None of them is aware that it is an illegal practice. These 20,000 people know that they are bound to work in a bangle industry even if it means losing eyesight before adulthood or perpetual state of poverty. Mukesh is already working with the family. Savita, a young girl too, works enough to have mastered the art and be very efficient at it. Many such children sit next to their parents, working in dark hutments, welding colored glass to circles of bangles. All that they know is that they won't earn enough out of it. But still, they lose their eyesight and they are helpless to carry the occupation on. And without daring to organizing into any cooperatives or without daring to dream anything else. What does Anis Jung expect from society as a benefactor for poor children? Here we will be trying to analyze what is the author's point of view of writing the content. More or less, we all are aware that such things happen in poor community, what all is told about Mukesh and Sahib. But what does the author tell us to do? So this question can come in various forms. What does the author want society to do? Or what does the author give a signal for, give a suggestion for their improvement or something like that? So let's read. The chapter is an eye-opener about the state of children in the slums of Simapuri and Firozabad, Journalist Anis Young has very deeply analyzed the issue of grinding poverty and tradition that condemn the children of the poor to a life of exploitation. This I have picked from the first slide where I spoke about the author that is given in the book itself. She indicates the absence of adequate schools for the lot of these children, deprived of all basic necessities. On the outskirts of a city, Delhi, where the rich class flourishes, thrives a community of ragpickers who scrounge for a coin in the garbage that they pick for a mere survival. The author makes us ponder upon the irony of prosperity that the city boasts of. अब city कहता है कि Delhi is a prosperous city, but Simapuri is far from it metaphorically. मैंने उस लाइन का यहाँ पे interpretation use किया. You can quote that line in addition to this. They have their names on voter cards but remain deprived of basic amenities like sewage and water supply. Like every other child, they too have the right to play games like tennis, but Sahib is only allowed to stand and watch a match. Furthermore, Sahib gets employed at a tea stall for a meager salary and food. Anis Jung seeks to find a solution to these challenges of the poor. The bangle makers of Firozabad have been losing their eyesight for generations working in dark and dingy slums of the city. No government authorities or factory owners intervene to ensure provision of better living or working conditions. There is neither fear nor awareness about laws against child labor and child marriage or aid for the girl child. Even if they want to rise out of the puddle of mind-numbing toil, the sahukars, middlemen, bureaucrats and politicians do not let them get rid of the vicious circle of loan and poverty. Extreme poverty anywhere is a threat to human society everywhere. This is a famous quote. Anis Jung reminds us of our common duty to note and act in the favor of deprived class of our society. So children, that was all for this entire chapter, Lost Spring. In case you have any doubts or anything more you require for me to explain or something, get back to me. I suggest that you take up the revision, at least one revision per chapter, so that the things become better retained in your minds. It is up to you. For any other thing or for any other help, you are free to get back to me. That is all at eClasses with Shalini ma'am. Bye bye.